musician, Aaron Smith. Musical guest, Autopilot is for lovers. House band, the Digital Speshies. And your hosts, Stacey, Hallal, and Jay Flewelling.
Hello, welcome. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here right now. Hello. Yes. It's so great to see you again. Still, he's amazing. He's amazing.
He was very complimentary in the first show.
He was my advocate in the early show. Yeah. When Craig was picking on me, he was my hero.
Okay.
Hi, you're my hero too, Jay.
Thank
Don't
you.
feel
You're my
like that.
shiro. That's right. That's right.
You know what women love?
What?
Is when a powerful word has to get feminized when applied to them.
Good.
You know?
You're welcome.
All right, it's been a big week. We got some news. Let's get to it. Donald Trump defended his decision to stop supporting the Kurds in Syria by stating that the Kurds didn't help us on D-Day. Yeah, well, the Nazis didn't help us on D-Day either, but you seem pretty cool with them, Trump, so...
Good folks. Well, the Senate Intelligence Committee released a report that further confirms Russian support for Trump in 2016, even during the primaries. Now, Senate Republicans are so upset that they are expected to go from a raised eyebrow to crossed arms and maybe a shaking head.
Very angry.
So pissed.
In front of Congress, former ambassador to the Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, alleged that President Trump led a smear campaign against her that forced her out.
No.
So let's see, a mature woman.
Okay.
Yeah, professional. Smarter than Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
So.
Adds up, yeah. Well, The Joker broke October box office records this opening weekend. And I haven't seen it yet. I don't know that I will, but honestly, we get enough vengeful clowns every time Proud Boys come to Portland, so I'm just gonna...
We don't need to see the movie. We don't. A family visiting South Carolina found a trash bag with 44 pounds of cocaine floating in the ocean,
wow.
and they promptly turned it into the cops. The cops then told them that the stash had a $600,000 street value, to which the father said, wait, what'd we do now?
Yeah. Well, this week, Scotch distillery Glenlivet announced Scotch capsules. Now, these are capsule cocktails inside seaweed-based pods. Yeah, okay, we can round of applause.
Yep.
We need
Yeah.
well, a spokesperson for Glenlivet said that the two main targets for this are people who like to try new things and then people who are too drunk to hold a glass. Yeah.
So now we know who that is in the audience tonight. It's like the classy Jell-O shot.
Yeah.
Okay? So classy. Ellen spent this last weekend sitting next to George W. Bush at a football game. She seemingly excused his war crimes, saying we should be kind to everyone, even people that we hate. That's true. It's not the joke part. But personally, I'm really glad that she said that, because it proves that women have finally broken the ceiling on being elitist and out of touch.
Yeah.
So women can be assholes too, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
I think you mean shassholes.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Everybody's fired.
Well, here's some good news for women. So, NASA has scheduled its first ever all-female spacewalk.
Yeah.
Now, this spacewalk is to be completed this month, and it's just like an all-male spacewalk, but better communication. Okay.
How you doing? Are you doing good? Yeah, you're all right. Okay. Atlanta rapper T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris, had $750,000 worth of jewelry stolen out of her Lamborghini. So I want you guys to know the way that I always handle it when I drive my Lamborghini. I hide my $750,000 worth of jewelry under $100,000 worth of jewelry.
Just a tip.
So just a way to really manage your wealth.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, great. Well, in celestial news, after a discovery of 20 new moons, Saturn has overtaken Jupiter as the planet with the most moons and is now the premier destination for our nation's werewolves. Hashtag werewolf spring break.
A recent study that said red meat wasn't bad for you turned out to have been conducted by some questionable industry insider. So hold off on eating those stacks of healthy cheeseburgers, everybody. And for now, just continue to eat them alone, shamefully, while weeping in your car.
Yeah. Is that just you?
Yeah, I didn't write it, but I do cry and eat hamburgers in my car. Well,
Not me.
no, I don't.
I don't know who wrote that joke.
Really, Bill wrote that joke. Bill McKinley,
Yes,
everybody.
Well,
Well, seriously, Bill, do you eat burgers in your car shamefully sometimes?
Thank you. Thank you. You see me. Yes.
See, she's the only one willing to be open,
Yeah.
honest, and vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
in the dark.
Yeah.
Well, beloved Portland restaurant Little Bird Bistro is closing down after 9 years. But I think that the real story here is how the restaurant that is only dedicated to serving food to tiny birds lasted this long.
It's late night special!
Bill McKinley. Oh my God.
Acapella getting them over to their seats.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Good to be back.
It is good to be back. So is this our 31st or 30th?
This is our 31st late night special. We do late night special, new content, new shows, new guests every Saturday night here at Curious Comedy Theater.
And we're having a ball.
We're having a ball.
And tonight we have music, we have some magic.
Yeah.
We have some educational pieces.
We've got an academia.
Academic.
I know what I want
No,
to
he
say.
means the fever.
Yeah. Yeah, we have an academic.
Like a mania.
Yeah, I went to yoga this morning. Did anybody go to yoga today? Cool.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Way fewer people than eat burgers shamefully in their cars.
Take a side, audience. Well, I usually go weekdays at 4 at my yoga studio, but then I was like, I'll go on Saturday at noon. It'll be fine. It was not fine. It was full of people. And my yoga studio, they like touch you or they like come in and assist. And when they do that, and they're always like trying to like, oh, your right foot, or like, push it over here, I purposely will not move. And I'll stay in the incorrect position. Just to get them,
Sounds like yoga is really doing what it's supposed to do for you.
It is, yeah.
So I get furious when I first start doing yoga. Like I've started and stopped, for phases of my life. And at the beginning, I always get angry. Thank you.
Why?
Oh my God, let's go to yoga together and then get burgers at Burgerville.
So why do you get angry?
I don't know. I think it's something about mindfulness that pisses me the fuck off. I'm like, these are the feelings I do think it's probably the feelings I ignore and try to stay, I'm kind of a fiery East Coast person of fiery ethnic background, so I spend most of my time in Portland trying to tone it down. So I think when I'm in yoga, it's like opens it up and I'm like, like a dragon spitting fire.
And they get it. Do you keep it in, or is it?
I have not actually expressed it in my yoga class.
Okay.
That'd be fun though.
Yeah. Well, one time.
To just be like, you fucking son of a bitch.
Well, I did one time respond back because I got like a personal it's okay if it's like everybody try harder, but one time it was like, hey, you try harder, and I was no, and that was not okay.
Really?
I received an email and was like questioning my commitment to the community of this yoga studio, and I was like, I don't want this community.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very passive aggressive of them.
I know.
No, I was just up.
I didn't expect this to become an anti-yoga rant,
I'm
but I have
pro
one more
yoga.
story to tell.
Go.
Does anyone do hot yoga?
Yeah. me.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, you do hot yoga?
Hot yoga. Where were you before?
I know. Not with you,
I know,
apparently.
yeah.
I don't know why I went, because I don't regulate my temperature well. And and I went to hot yoga. Somebody finally convinced me. I'm in the class, and the lady's like, if the lovely woman teaching the class, said, if you start to get overheated, don't leave. Just lie down and rest. And so we start doing the class, and not even 10 minutes in, I am way too hot. And I start rolling up my thing. She's like, please, just lay down. I'm like, I am out of here, bitch. It's fucking hot.
I almost faint still. I've been doing hot yoga for a year and a half.
Why do it to yourself?
I mean, I like it. You know?
You like almost passing out.
Yeah,
But
it reminds me when,
like,
did you guys do this in middle school? You like choke yourself out? Do you guys ever do that? That was like, I did it, my grade did. My sisters, when my sisters were teenagers, people used to like make themselves, thank you. You know what that is? It was like a cheap high as you squeeze your neck until you pass out. You wake up and then everyone's like, what happened? Did I say 6th grade? Yeah, it was like a...
8th grade.
Yeah, now it's called jiu-jitsu. It's the same, same thrill.
Why don't you just huff like a normal person?
Yeah, it pretty much, I mean, yeah, same damage.
Come on.
All right, we have a lot in the show. We're having
so
too good of a
much.
time.
It's not just about yoga.
No, it's not. So Halloween is coming, and a lot of people don't really know or respect the origin of the history of this holiday. We just roll into it without really thinking about what it means. And so we have a resident writer who is also an expert on Halloween. Please welcome Kat Buckley.
Halloween. The only night a year you can eat 50 Kit Kats and still get laid. It's a magical holiday where you can be anything you want to be, whether that's a slutty joker, the new slutty joker, or a cold sore. Buckle up, folks. But before Halloween was a holiday about drinking, it was a holiday about drinking. And it's true. Originally called Samhain, Halloween was a celebration of death and rebirth held at the end of the summer harvest. And the Celtic people believed that for one night a year, ghosts could walk the earth. And fucking party! Oh my God, people's favorite thing to do on Halloween was party with ghosts. Probably because no one had seen The Conjuring yet. And they did it all night, drinking and dancing and wearing costumes and making animal sacrifices. I'm told it's how Halloween is still celebrated in Gresham. Suck it, Gresham. And so for a very long time, Halloween was a holiday that celebrated the end of summer and the end of life itself with a kind of drunken, debaucherous joy. And then Jesus ruined everything. That's right. By the 9th century, the church had converted everyone that wasn't nailed down, and a few people that were.
Not too soon.
Thank you. But the church didn't know what to do with the Celtic people. How do you handle someone who is just drunk enough to kick your ass? So what they did was they moved an existing Christian holiday to October 31st and kind of pieced out. It's basically like what happens when you have a birthday and someone else in your class has the same birthday as you, so you have to add their name to your cake. Damn it. And so Samhain and All Saints' Day merged together and became the Halloween that we know and love today. It's not really about ghosts anymore, it's kind of about candy. And I don't really think that's a bad thing. Because I think you can tell a lot about a person based on their favorite Halloween candy. Like, if you like Kit Kats, that means you support candy polyamory. If you like M&Ms, you definitely want to fuck the green one. If you like Tootsie Rolls, you're an orphan from the 1920s. If you like Snickers, you definitely have a Reddit account. If you like Almond Joys, that's literally the most interesting thing about you. We all know someone that works in HR. If you like Butterfingers, you're Bart Simpson. And if you like Reese's, you're basic, but everyone likes you, like Tom Hanks in Hand Jobs. And if you like candy corn, you are one of the chosen few because they are amazing and all the haters can suck it. Thank you. Candy corn tastes like I got food stuck in my teeth and it's my favorite goddamn thing. And that is the history of Halloween. Who wants some candy?
Watch your faces. There's one from Candy. All right. Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a long time before we have anyone's attention again. All right, Candy. All right. Well, you're welcome. Feel free to trade with someone in the Halloween tradition. Oh, no. But luckily, you have a beautiful, lovely... She's sharing. Now there's a whole other thing about polyamory. Okay.
What's coming up next?
Well, Jay, I think it's time for some music while everyone enjoys their candy.
Oh, my God.
Please welcome to the stage a wonderful band from Portland, fantastic musician. Please welcome Autopilot is for Lovers.
Hi, I need an awkward moment while you eat your candy.
What's your favorite candy? Yell it out. 1, 2, 3.
Kit Kat. Kit Kat. Kit Kat.
Okay.
Kit.
Nice. Reese's. All right. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what we should sell here, what you guys will buy. That is totally true. All right. Do you need help with anything? Do you want any help? You good? We'll give you another minute. Jay, what's your favorite candy?
What's my favorite candy? I like Swedish fish. Fuck you.
People said boom.
I don't know. Oh, boom? I mean, never mind.
Oh, no, I think it was
Never
boom.
mind. Actually, it's fish. Twix is good. No.
What did you say? But you like Good and Plenty.
I like Good and Plenty.
I think Good and Plenty is the worst candy there is. No. Boston baked beans, worst candy there is.
Here's like my favorite candy.
What is?
Well, it's in the bulk aisle at New Seasons, and it's the dark chocolate sea salt cashews.
Oh, hell yeah.
Try it. Take a healthy sample and don't pay for it. Yeah.
Are you just like, you take out your phone and start listing off candies? You don't have a phone.
Yeah, I love Haribo gummy stuff. But then I started, or I realized that they are just made out of pig skin, so I stopped eating it. Look it up, it's gross. Most gummy is just pig skin. Yeah, it's gross.
I think.
And bones, yeah, it's terrible. Charleston Chew.
Charleston Chew.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Frozen. Hey, Bill, is Aaron over there?
Not over this side. No, let me see. Let me check behind the curtain.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Got it? Yeah, all right. Autopilot for lovers, we're doing it! so much. We'll see you in a little bit. She'll be back.
I was tapping my foot.
That's a high sense of approval from you. That's like the music I moved to Portland for. Is that kind of like, yeah, should be,
Kenny.
yeah,
Fun,
we should be in a basement drinking cheap beer from Red Cups. Or here at Curious Comedy Theater, because we're grown-ups now. I feel like it's a magical time of year, Jay.
Oh, yes, it is. It's fall.
And I think I'm ready to see some magic. The next performer not only performs all around in venues and for corporate gigs, but also creates magic trick pieces, and those get used by other magicians all around the world. He has been participating in the Night of Curiosities, magic show we've been doing once a month over there. That's moving in here.
Moving in here. When is that show?
It's October 22nd is
Wow.
the next one, yeah.
I can't wait to buy a ticket.
It's well, better get on it.
Yeah.
Because they sell out.
Do they sell out?
They sell out, Jay.
To moms and people everywhere?
They're amazing. But please welcome to the stage our very own magician comedian, Aaron Smith.
Hey! All right, Curious Comedy Theater. How's everybody doing tonight? Woohoo! Yeah, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Perfect. Yeah, that'll work. Thank you. Just over to the right a little bit. Awesome. Yeah, just go this way. Yeah, perfect. All right, so let's do some magic. First, I'm gonna need someone to hold on to this really quick. And this is a prediction that I wrote earlier. It's got a question mark on it, okay? And inside here, because question marks are, punctuation is very mysterious, so I put that on the front here. We're gonna have somebody hold on to this. Often magicians are accused of using mirrors, wires, tape, magnets in their magic. I want you guys to know that none of that's happening here tonight. Everything's on the up and up. So could you please? Yeah, all right, yeah, all right. So everything is on the up and up here. I want you to go ahead and open that. Make sure there's no mirrors, wires, tape, magnets, anything inside there at all of the sort. Is there, can you hold it out, pull it out, and hold it up above your head? Really wet, really wet. Oh.
There's a piece, part of a tape
Oh,
dispenser.
okay, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not the right one, so. Okay, so yeah, that's not the right prediction there. Here's the one right here. This is the mysterious pink envelope of mystery. This is the one right here. It's definitely not redundant at all. The mysterious pink envelope of mystery. I'm gonna have somebody hold on to this. Would like to hold on to this. I don't. Hi, how you doing tonight? Good. It's nice to see you. What's your name? Tim. Nice to meet you, Tim. My name's Aaron. Actually, would you mind coming up here just for a second? Just step right up the stairs. Everybody get Tim to be on applause. There's a little garbage can and a piece of paper. Okay. All right, so here, we'll have you hang on to this right here. We're just going to do something real quick. Right here. Just give me 1 second. Free hand here. Just have you hold on to that for me. You actually did something. I did something. All right, everybody give Tim a nice big round of applause. Thank you so much, my friend. You can have a seat right there. Thank you. All right, so we're going to do some trick. We're going to do a trick. Thank you. We're going to do a trick with some trash here. I've got some trash right here. We're going to throw it out to 3 different people in the audience. Okay, and I want to make sure that this is soap that's fair and on the up and up. I'm going to throw it behind my back like this. If it comes close to you, catch it. Here it comes. All right, who's got it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice catch.
Nice. Everybody in there?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do something with cards. Okay, so in a deck of cards, there's red cards and there's black cards, right? Which one would you prefer, red or black?
Red.
Perfect. So of the red, there's hearts and diamonds. Which would you prefer, hearts or diamonds? Hearts. Perfect. Everybody give him a nice round of applause. So another piece of trash here. I'm gonna throw it over my back, over here on this side right here.
Catch it!
Catch it.
Almost lit it on fire.
So So in a deck of cards, there's ace through king. The high cards are considered 6, maybe 9 and above, let's say, and the low cards are considered maybe ace to 8. Would you rather have high or low? High. High, perfect. So let's say 9, 10, and above. What would you like? What number? Queen? Yeah. All right. Everybody give her a nice round of applause. All right, we've got one last piece of trash here. I'm going to throw it over here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Come close, you catch it. Nice. All right, you have the most important job of all. Face up or face down? Face up. Face up. Everybody give him a nice round of applause. All right, so my man Tim, you still got that envelope of mystery, right? Come back up on the stage here. We're going to gather some more evidence from you. All right, so inside here, you feel something in there, right? Yeah. Yeah. You feel like a deck of cards, maybe? Maybe. Cool. Pop it open. All right, so in here's a deck of cards. We've got some rubber bands around that deck of cards, just like this. Go ahead and undo the rubber bands. I'll take that. Would you mind? Oh, okay, cool. All right, so inside here, deck of cards. It's been in the envelope the entire time, right? We threw 3 pieces of trash out in the audience. You said red hearts. You said red hearts. You said queen. And you said perfect. I'll pull the deck of cards out of the box just like this, very fairly. And spread the cards. One card is face down of the face up deck. Go ahead and take that card out. Would that be cool if that was the Queen of Hearts?
Yes.
You can look at it. You want to show them? Check it out, Queen of Hearts. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. But that's not it. Remember at the very beginning I said this was a trick with some trash. It wasn't a card trick. There's 3 pieces of paper that I threw out to the audience before any of this began, right? So if I could, with audience applause, bring all 3 of those folks up onto the stage. Come on out. All right. And we'll have you, go ahead and hang on to that. We'll have you stand over here. We'll have you stand right here in the center. And we'll have you stand here on the right. Now remember again, I said this was a trick with some trash. So you, sir, go ahead and open your piece of paper and show the audience. Does that say Queen on it? Yeah. And how about you go ahead and open up your piece of paper. That's the important one, the of. And you go ahead and open up your piece of paper. Does that say hearts on it?
Sure does.
Thank you so much.
Aaron Smith, is that it?
That's it. That's
Aaron
my time.
Smith, everybody! And his beautiful assistant, Nate Smith, everybody. I certainly didn't mean like, is that it? Because that was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive. Were you guys impressed? Yeah. I pride myself on having theories and usually guessing how things are done. I have no idea on that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
That makes me want to get a ticket for that October 22nd show.
You know where you would get that?
CuriousComedy.org.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Or for my mom.
Yay. Hey, guess what? This is the 11th. This week was our 11-year anniversary as Curious Comedy Theater here in this space.
Yeah. So if this is the 11th year, then this is my 10-year Curious.
Yeah, happy 10-year anniversary.
It's about me.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm here 11 years. All right. We like to have fun, but we also like to learn.
Yep.
We're always opening our minds to new thoughts and experiences. We don't mind taking a minute or 2 out of a late Saturday night for some serious talk.
Some education.
So I saw this lecture this week and was so excited. I asked this person to come share it here tonight on Late Night Special. It is a lecture on masculine ego structures on Hinge. Please welcome Dr. Hannah Kim.
Hello. Wow, thank you so much for the introduction. It's an honor. Yeah, so I have devoted the past year to researching masculine ego structures on Hinge, and I'm so excited to share the results with you today. So yeah, let's get started. Thank you. So first, some background on Hinge itself. It's a mobile dating application similar to Bumble and Tinder. The main difference being that instead of swiping right or left, you like aspects of a user's profile. A profile is made up of photos, bios, and prompts. And we'll be exploring some examples of those later on. In terms of my background and why I devoted my research to this topic, I experienced a disappointing breakup last year. And if I could summarize this relationship in one image, it would be... I think this sums it up, so in the interest of time, let's keep moving. All right, so I'm gonna go through some demographic information first. Here we go. This is an excerpt from a user's bio. There's a couple of things wrong here, but we're gonna focus on one, the political affiliation. It's named here as moderate. The options available to you are conservative, liberal, moderate, prefer not to say, and other. You also have the option of not including this on your profile at all. So we can assume that the presence of this signifier is intentional. And at first glance, it doesn't seem so bad, right? Like, what's wrong with being moderate? I'm chill. I don't care what we're having for dinner, you pick. I'm moderate. But let's take a deeper look. So here we have the political spectrum and where moderate falls on it. So to the left, we have conservative, the destruction of our entire planet and everything on it, including every last shred of hope in humanity. To the right, we have liberal, not doing a ton, but their main platform is, how about we don't do the fascist thing again? And then to the right, we have luminaries like Jeff Bezos, Matt, let me explain diversity to you, Damon, as well as figures like Aziz Ansari and Louis C.K., who have very bravely come out to let us know that outrage culture is the real problem. And not, as some would think, being held accountable for your actions. Which brings us to moderate. And the crux of this viewpoint is the idea that both sides have their problems, and I'm the only one rational and intelligent enough to see that, hence my moderate status. And you know, when I see these mod bros in the wild on Hinge, I avoid them, and that works out totally fine. However, when they like my profile, I have to admit I am quite perplexed. Because here's an excerpt from my dating profile. Thank you. Does this look like a moderate person to you? Is this the face of someone who is like, human rights? Not for me. Let's move on. All right, so now we're gonna look at religious preference, which is here noted as atheist. Again, seems pretty innocuous, you might think. Just a religious philosophy, right? Oh, but when we take a deeper look, this is the kind of person we're dealing with. What if I told you that I like discussing philosophy and the nature of existence? That's gonna be a no from me. This person really wants you to know that they took Philosophy 101. And you know what? I get it. I went through a God is dead phase myself when I was 19. But while I still love wearing black turtlenecks, I've since dropped the unwavering conviction in something literally unprovable, as well as the withering condescension directed towards everyone else. I will like this user back when I'm in the mood to have Nietzsche mansplain to me, which is to say, it will not happen before all of the polar ice caps melt and we all die. Okay. All right, now we're gonna move into some prompt analysis. First prompt is, my last meal would be pizza. That is incorrect. The prompt did not say, please prove that you have eaten food at some point in your life. This is the last meal you will have in your corporeal form. And for those of you who are not familiar with my field, the purpose of these prompts is to communicate identifying information. So let's dive into why this fails to do that. What is pizza? Firstly, let's look at a breakdown. 23% of pizza is cheese. Scientists have discovered that cheese is addictive because of the dairy proteins present, which act as mild opiates. Each bite of cheese produces a small hit of dopamine. So, liking something addictive, is that a personality trait, right? 19% of pizza is tomato sauce, cheese and tomato. Name a more iconic duo. You can't. Let's move on. 38% of pizza is bread. Bread is so beloved and popular that an easy way to display your penchant for masochism is to say, I'm not doing carbs right now. It's a great way to let people know that you hate yourself. 19, which brings me to 19% of pizza is your choice of toppings. That's right. You get to customize this dish based on the foods that you like. So, with that being said, it makes complete sense that the vast majority of people like and enjoy pizza in some form or fashion. So, that is why this answer is incorrect. Next. Most spontaneous thing I've done. Recently booked a solo flight to Japan. Never been, can't wait. At first glance, this seems to not fall into the trap of the pizza question. It seems unique, right? It may shock you to hear that the vast majority of the answers to this prompt is just some variation on this. I quit my white-collar finance job and booked a one-way ticket to an exotic country using my Alaska points. I think we have some footage of those people. Oh, here's one. I think we have another one. That's great. And it's great. It's awesome, right? Because there's truly nothing more spontaneous than privilege. Lastly, for prompt analysis, on my bucket list, bike pack Asia. First of all, what? Second of all, Asia is the largest continent in the world in terms of geography. So if you're biking the entire continent, I am, color me impressed, right? But do I want to enter a relationship with someone who will be on the other side of the world and very busy for the next 10, 15 years? I don't know. In addition, I'm just confused by this verbiage. What is bike pack exactly? Is it biking with a pack on? If so, it would behoove you to know that this is terminology used by no one. Or perhaps you meant to say backpack Asia, and you forgot that bike and back are different words. In any case, that is still incorrect. So in conclusion, to sum up my experiences trying to date cishet men as a cishet woman in her 20s can be summed up with this graphic. However, on the bright side, based on my research and my recommendations, my department has agreed to funnel 20% of our annual budget into a beta program called How to Date Men When You Hate Men. So please stay tuned for that. And normally, this is where I would end my lecture. However, at my last lecture, I had several cishet men reach out to me concerned that they exhibited some of this behavior. And I cover several different categories of behavior in this presentation, but I saw a lot of interest in the soft boy classification. And I take a lot of pride in my role as an educator. I take a lot of responsibility in that role. So I just wanted to educate you a little bit on soft boy specifically. So first, the definition. In dating terms, someone, usually a young man, who has alternative interests that make them feel superior, but can be emotionally manipulative, especially if rejected. So let's take a look at 3 real examples so that you can assess whether or not you fall in this category. Listen to the lyrics, the rhyming schemes, the tempo. Thank you. I now know how to listen to music effectively. That's so helpful. You might also escalate things emotionally out of left field. I'm gonna go for a sober cigarette and listen to Bon Iver to get me in the mood, then make a mug of chai tea and watch Paddington 2 in bed. Shortly after, I hope I drown in my tears. Or perhaps you like to flaunt your taste in movies. Favorite Wes Anderson films in order, go. Best to worst. You have till the end of the day, and I'll let you know if you're right. Very helpful. If you have done any of the above or something similar, I regret to inform you that there is a high risk that you are a soft boy. If you would like more information on this diagnosis, I have a couple resources to recommend. This is an alphabetical compendium compiled by Vice.com. So you can see this in further detail and also discover what sub-classification of a soft boy that you are. I would also recommend following this Instagram account, Beam Me Up Soft Boy, which is dedicated to providing up-to-date, real live updates from soft boys all around the world. And lastly, if you're worried that you or someone you love is a soft boy, help is out there. There are a couple things that you can do. Number one, please call 1-800-PRO-THER. That is to say, please get a professional therapist. It does not count if you seek unpaid emotional labor from a girlfriend or women friends. They need to be professional. Second of all, please consume art that isn't just by Jack Kerouac or Quentin Tarantino. Because first of all, ew. When you consume art by people who don't look like you realize that people who look like you don't have a monopoly on great art or the universal human experience. That's not a joke, that's complete serious. Lastly, realize that toxic masculinity isn't reserved for macho men only. So, you're not sexist just if you're a gym bro or a character on Mad Men. I don't care how many shitty poems you write or how many tears you cry. If you're sexist, you need to be held accountable for it. So, in that vein, please, thank you. In that vein, check yourself, and then check yourself again, and then keep checking yourself. Great. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. I feel as though much of that came from writing about what you know, and some real truth.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit of truth?
Yeah.
Were you all feeling the truth?
I'm a great actor. What can I do?
Thank you so much for doing this. You've done this a couple times now.
Yes.
Sharing the knowledge around the world. You did it at Kickstand?
Yeah.
Kickstand Comedy, which is downtown. What was the name of that show?
It was called Totally Normal. Woo! Yes. And it's a monthly show that highlights different topics or that can traditionally be considered shameful. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are some other topics they've covered here?
There was a great show about periods.
Yeah!
The one I did was breakups.
Nice.
Like puberty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Great. Stuff people don't necessarily talk about,
Yeah.
all the truth about. That's great.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to see your face. Hannah also has been a writer here for Late Night Special.
We love her comedy. Do you love her comedy?
Yeah. She was too busy, but we got you to come back.
Yes.
So something we know about you is that you know a little something about astrology.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, so if any of you are experts out there, then calm down. But I do know a little bit. And I'm mostly just I'm like one of the people, one of those people who when they get into something, they're really annoying about it. You know, some people just quietly do their interest, and I'm just everybody, guess what? Yeah. Astrology is awesome. It's been around for millennia, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like it's people who are like that, but they're into hikes, and they're come on, and
Or
Jay hates hiking.
yeah.
I don't hate it, but it's
Vegans.
all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it's I'm from here, so yeah, I've done that hike.
I am very much that same way. So when I was in college, we were on quarters instead of semesters, so it was three intense segments, and I would always get an A and then C's. There was one of the classes that I would care about and read everything about and kill everything. Everything else I would just fall asleep in class. So Jay and I are looking at 2020 is around the corner, believe it or not, right? It's so bizarre to think it'll be here before we know it. And so we wanted to get a little, we're planning our year and wanted to get a little insight on our astrology.
Advice,
Totally.
Yeah.
I am completely unprepared for this. It's unscripted, everyone. I looked a little bit at January 2020 for both of you.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some interesting stuff, some broad stuff, some specific stuff. I'll start with you first, Stacey. January 7th through January 20th,
there'll be a trine between your Mars and natal sun. So you're gonna have a lot of energy. So if you've been wanting to take up weightlifting or something, that would be a great time for it.
Okay, that's what, January what? 7th, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let me, I'll write that down.
Just kind of like
We had this on camera. You're fine. We'll just watch it later. Stacey's going to the gun show.
That's it. January 7th, I'm gonna turn this body around. Okay.
It can be other sports as well, but you also might be more argumentative because of this energy, and you should also be careful because you might be more accident prone.
Okay.
So a couple things to keep in mind there. In addition, this is starting December 30th through January 16th. It's a Jupiter conjunction with Mars. You'll likely find contact with men quite pleasant and rewarding during this time.
Okay. Tell me those dates again. Okay.
Sometimes it can be a
Okay.
drag, but
So,
those 2 weeks will be great.
Yeah. Normally it's great, so this is gonna be off the fucking
Even
charts.
better. And then this is something that was a commonality with you both. Something like some kind of transit with Jupiter, you'll have like a big confidence boost and a really optimistic attitude, so you're able to get a lot done, get a lot of projects done. But you got to be careful of being a little bit too optimistic or being too rash.
That's never happened.
Never, me neither.
Yeah.
We're the last two people to ever
Yeah.
take on too much or anything. Great.
And
And now, is this specific to like my chart or to just my sign?
it's specific to your chart.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I did not think this was going to be so specific. I'm very excited about it. Like, I'm gonna plan my journal, like my activities.
Yeah, it's you should definitely do that.
All right.
I'm being completely serious.
Well, and what we'll do is we should have you back in like mid-January
Yes.
and see how it went.
Yeah.
So I'll get all the notes of this,
Okay.
and then I'll keep a little journal and see what happens.
That sounds great.
Yeah. The thing is, if it is true, then it's sort of like, well, was it a self-fulfilling prophecy? You'll never know.
Right.
And if it doesn't come true, then you were just wrong, I guess. No.
I don't want to come back in that case.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What about Jay? What about Jay?
Look forward to.
So similarly with the Jupiter thing, it'll be like January 10th, 18th, you'll have like the golden touch, the Midas touch.
Okay.
So excellent time to begin new projects.
Okay.
January 6th to 23rd, you might have difficulty with authority figures like your father. So I would say don't call your dad all of January.
Okay.
That should be good. Okay, really interesting for you. January, like all of January, you'll be experiencing your Saturn return.
Okay.
So Saturn is going back to the place it was when you were born.
Okay.
And that's a very difficult time. It's a time marked by a lot of change and transformation. Up till now, your life has been one phase. And now you're entering a new, from baby to now, one phase. And now you're entering your second phase. So,
Wow, when is that? That's huge.
yeah,
In
next
January?
Yeah.
Damn.
Even your appearance might change.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Even friends might find you completely different. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys are ready for some truth?
No. It's not just truth, it's like a curse.
It's a monkey's paw.
Yeah.
Back in January,
Yes.
it's gonna have like a man bud. It's gonna be like completely different
I
style.
know. Wow.
All right. I look forward to seeing how this
I
unfolds.
know. Astrology.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much. Dr. Hannah Kim, I think it would be, she is amazing. I think it'd be fun to have her do like a astrological
It'd be
like
fun to do
reading
like
each
a
month.
game show or something of like people
Yeah.
coming on or like fool the astrologer.
Have you
ideas.
had a full chart reading?
I have. Well, I mean, I did it myself, like in a book, and I figured it out. And,
Okay.
but then recently, in becoming friends with Hannah, I've been talking more about it and getting back into it. Yeah.
I had it done in Eugene, and it blew my mind how accurate it was. It
Yeah,
was really crazy, and it wouldn't apply to just anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if they had said it to you, you would have been like that. It wasn't like your life is good sometimes and bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? All right, we're getting close to the end of our show. We're gonna shortly bring out our musical guest for one more number. But before that, we have another extraordinary guest. This guest is the winner of the 2019 Spoken Word Slam Down that happened here in Portland just last month. Please welcome Carl Berger.
Thank you, Stacey, Jay, Bill. Thank you guys all for letting me perform tonight. I'm usually I do like comedy stuff or just fool around, but I've been doing a lot more writing lately since my Nana passed on paying for my Wi-Fi this month. So thank you. Yeah, I worked on that one all night. So this is just a little spoken word. Thank you. Yeah, little spoken word thing that I'm gonna bring to all you guys. Here, let me move this out of the way so you can see me. Pumpkin spice, a flavor so nice, yet twice the price. But on this fall day, I'm willing to pay. A venti is plenty, can you break a 20? 3 months out the year, you're here, bringing bursts of flavor to my palate. How can I live without it? The other 9, well, that's PSL, hell. Sure, I've got candles and tricks to get my fix, but I need a miracle, the Starbucks original pumpkin spice latte, like kicks from karate, a roundhouse of flavor from my one savior, a reward for my taste buds' good behavior. Your caffeine dreams saturate my sheets with sweat, but don't fret. I burn calories in my slumber. 380 is the number in a latte large, whole milk, not soy, because what really brings me joy is pumpkin. Dairy, coffee, don't even try to offer me a cappuccino or shake. Make no mistake, only PSL is what I'll take. A diuretic, so energetic, never synthetic, gives me the strength to be poetic. You might think I'm frenetic, but my syntax is prophetic. So let's end this parenthetic. I've had 3 ventis, please call a medic.
There's a PSA on a PSL.
Yeah, get your PSL. He was not a winner of a contest.
No.
That was a lie. It was really our sponsor, Starbucks. Let's give it up for our sponsor, Starbucks. They can give me a call if they want to know where to send the check. It is the end of another show. We do this every week. Please come back. Please tell your friends. We loved having you all here. You're amazing.
Let us know if you want to be a guest.
Yeah, or if you have a guest that you want to suggest. Aren't we now rhyming every other word? I don't know how that's happening. It just gets in your body. Woo! Are you ready, my friend? All right, great. Please welcome back. Autopilot is for lovers.
Shadows are starting to get a little too bright. Shadows are starting to come on out. In the middle of broad daylight, when the burning sun is up, whatever happened to good old-fashioned cover up? Could you not come up with a clever lie? it take? How much money